Single mom waitress gave a rescue signal to undercover owner. What he did next no one expected. The coffee machine hissed like a wounded animal as Maya refilled the third pot of the night. 2:47 a.m. The Route 17 diner hummed with its usual late-night symphony, clinking silverware, mumbled conversations, the occasional laugh track from the ancient TV mounted in the corner. Maya's feet ached. Her lower back screamed. But she kept moving, kept smiling, kept collecting tips that would pay for Leo's school supplies next week. "More coffee, hon?" she asked the trucker in booth 7, her voice sweet despite the exhaustion pooling behind her eyes. He nodded without looking up from his phone. She was pouring when the door chimed. Maya's hand froze mid-pour. The coffee splashed onto the saucer, then the table. "Oh, I'm so," she began, but the trucker waved her off, distracted. Her eyes locked on the man who'd just walked in. Tall. Broad-shouldered. That same leather jacket she'd bought him 3 Christmases ago, now worn at the elbows. Derek. Her ex-husband scanned the diner like a predator surveying prey. When his eyes found hers, he smiled. It wasn't warm. It was a promise. Maya's heart hammered against her ribs. How did he find me? She'd been so careful. Different town. Different name on the apartment lease. She'd even changed her number twice. "Maya!" Carla called from the kitchen window. "Table 4 needs their check." Maya couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Derek slid into a booth near the door, deliberately blocking her only exit. He picked up a menu, still smiling. "Stay calm. You're at work. People everywhere. He won't do anything here." But she knew better. Derek didn't care about witnesses. He never had. She forced her legs to work, grabbed the check from the counter, and delivered it to table 4 with shaking hands. The elderly couple didn't notice. They were arguing about whether to split the pie. "Maya," Derek's voice sliced through the diner noise. "Come here." It wasn't a request. She glanced toward the kitchen. Carla was busy with orders. The cook had his headphones in. The only other waitress had left an hour ago. Maya approached Derek's booth slowly, clutching her order pad like a shield. "What do you want?" she whispered. "What do I want?" Derek leaned back, stretching his arms across the booth like he owned it. "I want to see my son." "That's not unreasonable, is it? A father wanting to see his boy. You have supervised visitation twice a month. You haven't shown up to one in 6 months. His jaw tightened. "Because you moved. You took him away from me. The court. I don't care what some judge said." Derek's hand shot out and grabbed her wrist. Not hard enough to bruise, but firm enough to trap her. "Leo's my son. You don't get to keep him from me." Maya's pulse roared in her ears. She looked around frantically. The trucker was still on his phone. The elderly couple was leaving cash on their table. The cook's music was too loud. Except, there was one person watching. A man at the bar. Mid-30s, maybe? Dark hair, tired eyes, wearing a plain gray hoodie and jeans. He'd been nursing the same cup of coffee for over an hour, reading a paperback with a cracked spine. He was staring directly at Derek's hand on Maya's wrist. "Let go," Maya said quietly. Derek leaned closer, his breath hot against her ear. "I'm picking Leo up from school tomorrow. And if you call the cops, if you try to stop me, I will make your life hell. You remember what hell looks like, don't you, Maya?" She remembered. 3 years of it. Derek released her wrist and stood up, tossing a $5 bill on the table. "See you tomorrow, sweetheart." He walked out, the door chime mocking her with its cheerful jingle. Maya stood frozen, her wrist burning where he touched her. "Breathe. Just breathe." She walked to the counter, grabbed a rag, and began wiping down the already cleaned surface. Her hands trembled so badly she could barely hold the cloth. 3 taps. She pressed her knuckles against the counter 3 times. Quick. Deliberate. It was something she'd learned years ago from a support group. A silent signal. A distress call when you couldn't scream. She didn't know why she did it. No one here would recognize it. No one would understand. But her body needed to do something. You okay? Maya jumped. The man from the bar stood beside her, his coffee cup empty in his hand. I'm fine, she said automatically, forcing a smile. Just tired. Long shift. He didn't smile back. His eyes, dark brown, serious, held hers for a moment too long. I saw what happened, he said quietly. That man who just left. Do you need help? Maya's throat tightened. Strangers didn't help. Strangers asked questions and then disappeared when things got complicated. I'm fine, she repeated. Really? Just a misunderstanding. The man set his cup down on the counter. 3 taps. That's not nothing. Maya's blood turned to ice. What? The signal you just gave? He nodded toward the counter where her knuckles had struck. 3 taps. It's a distress call. I've seen it before. Who was this man? I don't know what you're talking about, Maya said, her voice barely above a whisper. I was just cleaning. Okay. He pulled out his wallet and left a 20 for a $4 coffee. But if that changes, my name's Ethan. I'm here most nights. He turned to leave. Wait, Maya called before she could stop herself. How do you know about the signal? Ethan paused at the door, his hand on the handle. Because I pay attention. Then he was gone. Maya stood alone at the counter, the $20 bill staring up at her like an accusation. Her phone buzzed in her apron pocket. A text from an unknown number. Sweet dreams, Maya. Give Leo a kiss for me. She deleted it with shaking fingers. Across the street, sitting in a black sedan, Derek watched the diner through the rain-streaked windshield. He lit a cigarette and smiled. Tomorrow was going to be a good day. Maya didn't sleep. She sat by Leo's bed until dawn broke, watching his small chest rise and fall, memorizing the peaceful curve of his 7-year-old face. In sleep, he looked exactly like her, same dark curls, same button nose. Nothing of Derek in him. Thank God for that. At 6 a.m., she made breakfast with the TV on for noise, jumping at every car door that slammed outside. Mom, you're burning the eggs, Leo said, climbing onto his chair. Maya blinked down at the smoking pan. Oh. Sorry, baby. It's okay. I like them crispy. He grinned, missing his front tooth. She forced herself to smile back, scraping the blackened eggs onto his plate. Her phone sat face up on the counter. No new messages. But Derek's threat echoed in her skull. I'm picking Leo up from school tomorrow. Today. Hey, buddy, Maya said carefully, sitting across from him. How about I pick you up from school today? We can get ice cream. But you work during the day on Thursdays. I'll leave early. Special treat. Leo's eyes narrowed with the suspicious intelligence of a child who'd learned too young that adults lie. Is Dad coming? Maya's heart cracked. No, honey. Just us. Good. Leo shoved a forkful of eggs into his mouth. I don't like when he comes. I know, baby. I know. The diner looked different in daylight. Less mysterious, more tired. Peeling paint on the window frames. Cracked vinyl on the booths. Maya had worked here for 11 months and never really noticed how worn everything was. She was refilling salt shakers when Carla emerged from the back office, eyebrows raised. Boss wants to see you. Maya's stomach dropped. Mr. Henderson? Nope. New owner. Apparently, Henderson sold the place last month. Didn't tell anybody. Carla shrugged. New guys in there now. Maya's hands went cold. She couldn't afford to lose this job. Not now. Not with Derek circling. She knocked on the office door, her mind already calculating how long her savings would last. Come in. Maya pushed open the door and froze. Sitting behind the cluttered desk, wearing the same gray hoodie from last night, was Ethan. You. She breathed. He stood, gesturing to the chair across from him. Sit down, Maya. Please. You own this place? Her voice came out sharper than intended. Last night you were Why were you pretending to be a customer? I wasn't pretending. I am a customer. I just also happen to own the building. Ethan's expression remained calm, unreadable. I bought the diner 6 weeks ago. I've been coming in on different shifts, observing. Learning how things run. Spying on us, you mean? Observing. He repeated. There's a difference. And I'm glad I was here last night. Maya's defenses slammed up. I don't need your pity. Not pity. Concern. Ethan opened a file on his desk. Maya recognized the employee records, Henderson's messy handwriting, coffee stains on the folders. After you left, I pulled your file. There are 3 police reports attached. 2 restraining orders against Derek Novak. 1 expired, 1 active but apparently ineffective. Heat flooded Maya's face. You had no right. I had every right. You're my employee, and someone threatened you on my property. His voice remained steady, but something fierce flickered behind his eyes. That man is dangerous. I know that better than you do. Then let me help. Why? Maya stood abruptly, chair scraping against linoleum. You don't know me. You don't know my situation. Why do you care? Ethan was quiet for a moment. Then, my sister had an ex like yours. She didn't ask for help until it was almost too late. I swore I'd never ignore the signs again. The air left Maya's lungs. Is she? Maya couldn't finish the question. She's alive. Safe now. Took years, a good lawyer, and a lot of courage on her part. Ethan met her eyes. But she had help, Maya. Nobody gets out of this alone. Maya wanted to run. Wanted to tell him to mind his own business. Wanted to pretend everything was fine. Instead, she heard herself whisper. He's going to try to take Leo today. From school. Ethan's jaw tightened. What time does school let out? 3:15. He checked his watch. That gives us 6 hours. Here's what we're going to do. At 2:45 p.m., Maya stood outside Riverside Elementary, her heart in her throat. Beside her, Ethan leaned against his truck, arms crossed, scanning every car that pulled into the lot. There, Maya said, spotting Derek's black sedan 2 blocks down. Ethan pulled out his phone. Right on time. What are you doing? Calling someone who can actually help. Derek's car crept closer, idling at the curb. Maya's hands curled into fists. Not today, she thought. Not ever again. The police cruiser arrived 12 minutes later. By then, Derek had already left, his black sedan disappearing around the corner the moment he spotted Ethan on the phone. Ma'am, without him actually approaching the school or violating the restraining order's specific terms, there's not much we can do, Officer Bradley said, his pen hovering over his notepad. Young. Maybe 25. He looked at Maya with sympathy that made her want to scream. He was waiting outside my son's school, Maya said through clenched teeth. That's not enough? The order specifies no contact within 50 feet of you or your residence. Technically, the school isn't. I know what it says. Maya's voice cracked. I memorized every word. Ethan stepped forward. What if we amend the order? Add the school as a protected location? Officer Bradley nodded slowly. You'd need to file a motion with the court. Could take a few weeks. A few weeks? Maya repeated hollowly. We'll increase patrols in the area, Bradley offered. Best we can do right now. After he left, Maya stood on the sidewalk, watching parents collect their children. Happy faces. Normal problems. She'd forgotten what normal felt like. Come on, Ethan said gently. Let's get Leo. Leo burst through the school doors with his backpack hanging off one shoulder, his jacket tied around his waist despite the October chill. When he saw Maya, his face lit up. Mom! You came! He crashed into her legs, hugging tight. Told you I would. She buried her face in his hair, breathing him in. Ready for that ice cream? Yeah! Then Leo noticed Ethan standing a few feet away. His smile faltered. Who's that? This is Mr. Ethan. He's a friend. From work. Ethan crouched down to Leo's level. Hey, Leo. Your mom tells me you like chocolate ice cream. Leo studied him with serious eyes. How do you know my name? Your mom talks about you all the time. Says you're pretty smart. I am smart. Leo looked up at Maya. Is he coming with us? Maya hesitated. She'd planned to say no, to keep her world separate, to protect Leo from getting attached to someone who might disappear. But Ethan had shown up. He'd made calls. He'd stood beside her when she needed someone. If that's okay with you, she said. Leo shrugged. Okay. But I get to pick the flavor. The apartment was a fourth-floor walk-up in a building that smelled like cabbage and old carpet. Maya unlocked 3 deadbolts before pushing the door open. Home sweet home, she said with forced brightness, flipping on lights. The space was tiny, a living room that bled into a kitchenette, 1 bedroom visible through an open door, a bathroom the size of a closet. But it was clean. Organized. Safe. Or it had been. Leo dropped his backpack by the door and headed straight for the window, pressing his nose against the glass. Leo, sweetie, go wash your hands before. Mom. That car's still there. Maya's blood turned to ice. She crossed to the window, Ethan close behind. 4 stories down, parked across the street under a broken streetlight, sat Derek's black sedan. Even from this distance, she could see the orange glow of his cigarette. How long has he been parking there? Ethan's voice was tight. I don't know. I work nights. I'm barely home when it's light out. Maya pulled Leo away from the window, closing the blinds. Baby, go to your room and pick out a book. I'll be there in a minute. But, now please. Leo's face crumpled, but he obeyed, dragging his feet toward the bedroom. The moment his door closed, Maya's composure shattered. She braced herself against the counter, knuckles white. He's watching us. He knows where we live. Where Leo goes to school. He's probably been following us for weeks and I didn't even. Her voice broke. I was so careful. I did everything right. How did I miss this? You didn't miss anything, Ethan said firmly. Men like Derek are experts at hunting. At waiting. This isn't your fault. Then whose fault is it? Maya's laugh was bitter. I married him. I brought a child into that nightmare. Stop. Ethan's hand hovered near her shoulder but didn't touch. You got out. You're protecting Leo. That takes more courage than most people have. Maya wiped her eyes roughly. Courage doesn't pay for a lawyer. Doesn't get restraining orders enforced. Doesn't keep my son safe when his father is sitting outside our home like. She stopped. Through the thin walls she heard it. Leo's voice, small and scared, talking to someone. Maya rushed to his room, Ethan behind her. Leo sat on his bed, her old cell phone pressed to his ear, the one she'd forgotten to deactivate. Hi, Dad. He was saying. Yeah, I see you. You're in the black car. Maya's heart stopped. Derek's voice crackled through the speaker, loud enough to hear. That's right, buddy. I'm watching over you. Making sure you're safe. Did you know your mom has a new boyfriend? The man who just came inside? Leo's eyes met Maya's, wide and confused. Dad wants to know if Mr. Ethan is going to be my new daddy. Maya snatched the phone from Leo's hand and ended the call, her fingers trembling so violently she nearly dropped it. How did he? She stared at the old device. She'd wiped it. Changed the number. Or thought she had. Mom? Leo's voice was small. Did I do something bad? No, baby. No. Maya pulled him close, kissing the top of his head. You didn't do anything wrong. But this phone is broken, okay? We can't use it anymore. She looked at Ethan over Leo's curls. His expression was dark, jaw clenched. I'm going down there, Ethan said. No. Please. Maya's voice cracked. He wants a reaction. Don't give him one. Inch. Ethan's hands curled into fists, but he nodded. Outside, a car engine started. Through the gap in the blinds, Maya watched Derek's sedan pull away slowly, deliberately. The cigarette butt arced out the window, scattering sparks on the pavement. He was letting them know he could leave whenever he wanted. Because he'd be back. Friday morning arrived with cold rain and Maya's phone buzzing at 6:47 a.m. Ms. Novak? This is Principal Chen from Riverside Elementary. Maya's stomach plummeted. Is Leo okay? Leo is fine. He's in my office right now, perfectly safe. But we had an incident this morning. A man claiming to be Leo's father attempted to sign him out early for a dentist appointment. The room tilted. What? Our receptionist, Mrs. Kim, didn't recognize him and asked for identification. He became agitated. Started insisting he had custody rights, that you were keeping his son from him. Principal Chen's voice was carefully neutral. Security escorted him off the premises. I'm calling because we need to update our records. Do we have the correct custody documentation on file? Yes. I filed it last year. He only gets supervised visitation twice a month, and he has to schedule through the court. I see. Well, I've instructed all staff that Leo is not to be released to anyone except you without prior written authorization. We're also documenting this incident in case you need it for legal purposes. Maya pressed her palm against her forehead. Thank you. I'm so sorry. You have nothing to apologize for, Ms. Novak. But I do think you should come pick Leo up. He's quite shaken. Maya burst through the school's front doors 20 minutes later, still in her pajamas under a hastily thrown-on coat. Ethan had driven her. She'd been shaking too hard to trust herself behind the wheel. Leo sat in Principal Chen's office, clutching his backpack like a life raft. His eyes were red-rimmed. Baby. He launched himself at her, and Maya caught him, sinking to her knees on the industrial carpet. He said. Leo hiccuped against her shoulder. He said you told him to pick me up. That we were going on a trip. But Mrs. Kim said I couldn't go and he got really mad, Mom. His face got all red like before. Like before. When Derek used to shout. When dishes shattered against walls. When 7-year-old Leo learned to hide in his closet. You're safe, Maya whispered. You did exactly right. Mrs. Kim did exactly right. Principal Chen handed Maya a folder. Copies of the incident report. The receptionist took photos of his ID before he left. And, she hesitated. There's something else. She pulled up security footage on her computer. Black and white, grainy, but clear enough. Derek at the front desk. Arguing. Pointing. Then his face turned toward the camera, and he smiled. He knew he was being filmed. He didn't care. He wanted you to see this, Principal Chen said quietly. He wanted you to know he got this far. Maya's arms tightened around Leo. Ethan, who'd been standing silently by the door, finally spoke. Principal Chen, what would it take to add additional security for Leo? Drop off and pick up protocols, maybe a photo ID system? We can implement that immediately. I was going to suggest it myself. She looked at Maya with something like understanding. I've seen cases like this before, Ms. Novak. Please don't wait to get help. In Ethan's truck, Leo fell asleep in the back seat, exhausted from fear and tears. Rain drummed against the windshield. I can't do this, Maya said, staring at her hands. I can't watch him every second. I can't protect him from someone who doesn't care about laws or orders or... Then don't do it alone. Maya looked at Ethan. Really looked at him. This stranger who'd inserted himself into her nightmare, who kept showing up, who kept offering help she didn't know how to accept. Why are you doing this? She asked. Really? Ethan was quiet for a long moment. Because someone helped my sister when I couldn't. And because... He met her eyes. Because I see you trying to carry this alone, and you don't have to. Maya's throat burned. I don't even know you. Then let me change that. Ethan pulled a business card from his wallet. Not for the diner. A lawyer's name embossed in navy blue. This is who helped my sister. She's expensive, but she wins. And I'll cover the cost. I can't let you. You can. You will. His voice was firm. Because Leo needs you alive and sane, not buried under legal bills and terror. Maya took the card with shaking fingers. Sarah Brennan, family law attorney. A lifeline, offered by a man who owed her nothing. Thank you, she whispered. Outside the truck, across the parking lot, a black sedan idled at the corner. Watching. Always watching. Sarah Brennan's office smelled like leather and expensive coffee. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked downtown, rain streaking the glass like tears. Maya perched on the edge of a chair that probably cost more than her monthly rent, clutching a folder of documents, restraining orders, police reports, text message screenshots she'd been saving for 2 years. He called my son. Maya's voice was steady now, hardened by 48 hours of fear into something sharper. On a phone I thought was disconnected. He's watching our apartment. He tried to take Leo from school. Sarah Brennan, 50-something with silver hair and eyes like a hawk, made notes on a legal pad. And the current restraining order hasn't been violated technically because he's staying 51 feet away. Yes. Smart. He knows the system. Sarah looked up. But not smart enough. Calling your son on any device is contact. We can use that. How long will it take? Emergency hearing? We can file Monday, get a court date within 2 weeks. I'll request an amended order, full no contact, supervised visitation suspended pending evaluation, GPS monitoring if the judge is feeling generous. And if Derek doesn't comply? Then he goes to jail. Sarah's smile was thin. I've put away 12 men like your ex-husband, Ms. Novak. I'm very good at my job. Maya felt something unfamiliar bloom in her chest. Hope. There's one problem. Sarah continued. My retainer is $15,000. The hope withered. I have $1,100 in savings, Maya said quietly. I can get more. I can work extra shifts. That won't be necessary. Both women turned. Ethan stood in the doorway. Sarah's assistant must have let him in. He crossed the office and placed a check on the desk. Sarah glanced at it, eyebrows rising. That's generous, Mr. Hayes. It's necessary. Ethan looked at Maya. I know you're going to argue. Don't. This is happening. Maya stood, anger flashing hot. You can't just. I'm not a charity case. You're not charity. You're someone who needs help. There's a difference. I don't take handouts from strangers. Then don't think of it as a handout. Ethan's voice softened. Think of it as an investment. In Leo's safety. In your peace of mind. In making sure Derek Novak never hurts either of you again. I'll pay you back. If that's what you need to do, fine. But right now, can we just focus on keeping you both safe? Maya's hands trembled. Pride warred with desperation. She thought of Leo sleeping with the lights on. Of Derek's smile on the security footage. Of the phone call she couldn't prevent. Okay, she whispered. Okay. That evening, Maya worked her shift at the diner in a daze. Sarah's words echoed in her head, emergency hearing Monday. 2 weeks to court. GPS monitoring. For the first time in 3 years, she let herself imagine a life where Derek was just gone. Earth to Maya. Carla waved a hand in front of her face. You just put salt in the coffee instead of sugar. Sorry. I'm sorry. Maya dumped the ruined pot. Girl, you need to go home. Get some sleep. You look like death. Can't. Need the tips. Ethan's paying you same as always even though you've missed 2 shifts. And between you and me, Carla leaned closer. That man is sweet on you. He's just being kind. Kindness doesn't write $15,000 checks, honey. Carla grinned. That's something else entirely. Maya's cheeks flushed. It's not like that. He's helping because. The door chimed. Derek walked in. Every muscle in Maya's body locked. Her hand tightened on the coffee pot. He slid into the same booth as before, picked up a menu, smiled at her. Maya? Carla followed her gaze. Isn't that? Call Ethan, Maya said quietly. His number's in the office. Tell him Derek's here. I'm calling the police. No. Ethan first. Carla hesitated, then rushed to the back. Maya approached Derek's booth on autopilot. We're closing soon. No, you're not. Sign says you're open until 4 a.m. Derek set down the menu. I'll have coffee. Black. And one of those apple pies. Warmed up, like you used to make at home. We don't do special orders. Sure you do. For me, his eyes glittered. I saw you today. With that guy. At the lawyer's office. Downtown, fancy building, floor 12-inch. Maya's blood turned to ice. You think some lawyer is going to keep me from my son? Derek's voice dropped to a whisper. You think some restraining order means anything? I know where you work. Where you live. Where Leo goes to school. I know the lady who picks him up on Wednesdays, Mrs. Chen from 3B, sweet old woman, doesn't lock her door. Don't you dare. I'm not threatening anyone, Maya. I'm just making conversation. Derek pulled out his phone, turned it toward her. Photos. Dozens of them. Leo at the playground. Maya walking to her car. Ethan leaving her apartment building. Close-ups. Time-stamped. You've been busy making new friends, Derek said. Breaking our family apart. But families don't break, Maya. They bend. And I'm about to bend yours back into shape. The door chimed again. Ethan strode in, eyes locked on Derek. Get away from her. Derek stood slowly, hands raised in mock surrender. Just having coffee with my wife. Ex-wife. And you're violating a restraining order. Am I? Derek pulled out a tape measure from his jacket, let it snap out. 51 feet from the counter to this booth. I measured. I'm legal. He tossed cash on the table and brushed past Ethan, pausing at the door. See you Monday, Maya. In court. Then he was gone. Maya sank into the booth, the photos burned into her mind. Ethan sat across from her. We're moving you. Tonight. The motel room smelled like disinfectant and old cigarettes, but it had 2 beds, a deadbolt, and was 15 miles from Route 17. Leo lay curled in one bed, clutching his stuffed elephant, finally asleep after an hour of questions Maya couldn't answer. Why are we here? When are we going home? Is Dad coming? Maya sat on the other bed, staring at the parking lot through a gap in the curtains. Ethan had paid for 3 nights. Cash. No records. Her phone buzzed. Sarah Brennan. Emergency order granted. Derek arrested an hour ago for violating restraining order. The photos constitute stalking/harassment. Bail hearing tomorrow morning. Maya read it twice. 3 times. Arrested. She should feel relieved. Victorious, even. Instead, she felt numb. Another text, get some rest. This is just the beginning, but it's a good beginning. Maya set the phone down and finally let herself cry. Saturday morning broke clear and cold. Maya woke to Leo jumping on the bed. Mom! Mom! There's a pancake place across the street. Can we go? Please? She blinked at him, this resilient little human who could find joy in a dingy motel room. Yeah, baby. We can go. At the diner, a cheerful place called Stacks, nothing like Route 17, Leo ordered chocolate chip pancakes and talked nonstop about a science project on volcanoes. Normal kid things. Things that had been buried under fear. Maya's phone rang. Unknown number. Her stomach clenched, but she answered. Hello? Maya, it's Sarah. Derek made bail 2 hours ago. The pancakes turned to ash in Maya's mouth. How? The judge. His mother posted bond. He's out on GPS monitoring, but... Sarah paused. He violated the ankle monitor requirement within 30 minutes. Cut it off. He's in the wind. What? Maya's vision tunneled. How is that possible? Where are the police? Looking for him. I've already filed a warrant for his arrest. Every cop in the county has his photo. But Maya... Sarah's voice was grim. You need to stay where you are. Don't go home. Don't go anywhere he might expect. Leo looked up from his pancakes, syrup on his chin. Mom? What's wrong? Maya forced a smile. Nothing, baby. Eat your breakfast. She ended the call, hands shaking. Derek was free. Hunting. The text came at noon. Unknown number. Took something from your apartment. Thought Leo might miss it. Below it, a photo. Blue elephant. Leo's favorite stuffed animal, the one that. Maya's heart stopped. Leo's elephant was here. In the motel room. She could see it on the bed through the bathroom door. Which meant the elephant in the photo was Old Blue, Leo had called it. The original elephant from when he was a baby, retired to a shelf in his closet 2 years ago when the ear tore. Derek had been inside their apartment. Maya grabbed Leo's hand. We're leaving. Right now. But I'm not done. Now, Leo. She threw cash on the table and pulled him outside. Called Ethan. He was in my apartment. He has a key or he broke in or. Her words tumbled out. We can't stay at the motel. He'll find us. I'm 10 minutes away. Don't move. Maya stood in the parking lot, clutching Leo, scanning every car, every window, every shadow. 9 minutes later, Ethan's truck screeched into the lot. My house, Ethan said, navigating through traffic. It's outside town. Gated. Security cameras. He won't find you there. We can't impose. You're not imposing. You're surviving. He glanced at her. Stop arguing and let someone help you. The house was modest, a 2-story craftsman on 3 acres, surrounded by oak trees. Inside was neat, lived in. Photos of a woman who looked like Ethan on the mantel. His sister, Maya, guessed. Guest rooms upstairs. Ethan said. Locks from the inside. Bathroom attached. Leo, you hungry? I've got pizza rolls. Leo's eyes widened. The good kind? The best kind. While Leo settled in front of the TV with snacks, Ethan pulled Maya into the kitchen. Police found his car abandoned near the state line. They think he's running. He's not running, Maya said. He's regrouping. He wants me scared. Then we don't give him what he wants. Ethan's jaw set. Monday you go to court. You get full custody locked down. We end this. And until Monday? Until Monday you're safe here. That night, after Leo fell asleep, Maya found Ethan on the back porch, staring at the dark tree line. Thank you, she said quietly, for all of this. I don't know how I'll ever. You don't owe me anything. I owe you everything. Ethan turned to face her, and something in his expression made her breath catch. Not pity. Not duty. Something warmer. When this is over, he said carefully. When Derek is gone and Leo is safe and you can breathe again, maybe we could have dinner. A real one. Not in crisis mode. Maya's heart stuttered. She hadn't thought about romance in 3 years. Hadn't let herself want anything except safety. But standing here, with this man who'd shown up again and again. I'd like that, she whispered. Ethan smiled. In the woods beyond the property line, a camera flash blinked. Derek lowered his phone, reviewing the photo of Maya and Ethan on the porch. Close. Intimate. Perfect. He sent the photo to his lawyer with a message, evidence of parental alienation. She's already replaced me. Then he checked his bag. Rope. Duct tape. The screwdriver from his toolbox. Monday's court date didn't matter. By Monday, Maya would understand who she belonged to. He started walking toward the house. Maya woke to silence. Wrong silence. The house was too quiet, no hum of the refrigerator, no distant TV sounds, no night sounds from outside. She reached for her phone on the nightstand. 11:47 p.m. Dead. Her charging cable was plugged in, but the screen stayed black. Power outage. Maya's pulse quickened. She slipped out of bed, crossed to Leo's room. He was sleeping peacefully, elephant tucked under his chin. She locked his door from the outside, a trick Ethan had shown her, a safety measure, and pocketed the key. Downstairs, she found Ethan in the kitchen, flashlight in hand, peering out the window. Breaker? She whispered. Already checked. Someone cut the main line. His voice was tight. I called the police before my phone died. They're coming. How long? 15 minutes. Maybe 20-inch. Too long. Maya's skin prickled. He's here. We don't know. Glass shattered. The living room window exploded inward, shards glittering in the moonlight. A brick skidded across the hardwood floor, a note rubber banded around it. Ethan moved toward it, but Maya grabbed his arm. Don't. It's bait. Maya. The back door crashed open. Derek stood in the doorway, silhouetted against the night, a screwdriver gleaming in his fist. There's my girl, he said softly. Ethan stepped between them. Get out. Now. Derek laughed, a sound like breaking glass. You think you're the hero? The knight saving the damsel? He took a step forward. You're just another mistake Maya made. She's good at those. The police are coming, Ethan said. No, they're not. I saw the cell tower half a mile back. One call to a buddy with wire cutters, and this whole area's dark. No phones. No help. Derek's smile widened. Just us. Like it should be. Maya's mind raced. Leo was upstairs, locked in, but for how long? The house had 2 staircases, front and back. Derek knew this. He'd been watching. Planning. What do you want? Maya asked, her voice steadier than her hands. I want my family back. Derek's eyes locked on hers, and for a moment she saw the man she'd married, vulnerable, desperate. Then the mask cracked, and the monster beneath showed through. I want you to stop making me the villain. I want you to remember that I loved you first. You don't love me. You never did. You love control. Same thing, Derek said. And lunged. Ethan caught him mid-stride, and they crashed into the dining table. Chairs splintered. The screwdriver clattered across the floor. Maya ran for it, but Derek was faster. His hand shot out and grabbed her ankle. She went down hard, chin cracking against wood. Always running, Derek panted, dragging her backward. Always making me chase you. Ethan tackled him from behind. They rolled, fists flying, grunting with effort. Maya scrambled to her feet, grabbed the screwdriver. Her hands shook so badly she nearly dropped it. Use it. Protect yourself. Protect Leo. But her body froze. Derek slammed Ethan's head against the floor. Once. Twice. Ethan went limp. No! Maya screamed. Derek stood, breathing hard, blood trickling from his nose. Just you and me now, baby. He advanced slowly, savoring her fear. Maya backed toward the kitchen, the screwdriver hidden behind her back. Her hip bumped the counter. The counter. The diner. 3 taps. Her hand found the metal serving tray Ethan had left out from dinner. Heavy. Solid. Derek was 3 feet away. 2 feet. I'm taking Leo tonight, he said. You can come with us, or I can leave you here with your boyfriend. Your choice. Here's my choice. Maya swung the tray with everything she had. It connected with Derek's temple with a sound like a gong. His eyes rolled back, and he staggered, shocked. Then she hit him again. And again. Tap. 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 The tray rang out through the darkness, a distress signal that wouldn't go unanswered this time. Derek dropped to his knees, blood streaming down his face. Maya stood over him, chest heaving, the tray raised for another strike. You don't get to terrorize us anymore, she said. You don't get to haunt us. You don't get Leo. You don't get me. You get nothing. Derek swayed, then collapsed face first onto the floor. Ethan groaned, stirring. Maya. She dropped the tray and ran to him, helping him sit up. A nasty gash bled above his eyebrow. Leo? He asked. Still locked upstairs. Safe. Sirens wailed in the distance. Somehow, one call had gotten through, or a neighbor had seen the commotion. Red and blue lights flooded the driveway. Police stormed in, weapons drawn, shouting orders. Maya raised her hands, tears streaming down her face. He broke in, she said. He attacked us. I defended my family. An officer knelt beside Derek, checking his pulse. He's alive. Unconscious, but alive. They cuffed him anyway. As paramedics loaded Derek into an ambulance, he came to for a moment, eyes finding Maya through the crowd. She didn't look away. She'd spent 3 years afraid of this man. Not anymore. It's over, Ethan said beside her, his hand finding hers. Maya squeezed back. Yeah, she whispered. It is. 3 months later. Maya stood in the doorway of her new apartment, second floor, well-lit complex with security gates and cameras at every entrance. Sunlight poured through windows that actually locked properly. Leo's artwork covered the refrigerator, held up by magnets shaped like stars. Home. A real one this time. Mom! Come look! Leo called from his bedroom. She found him arranging books on a shelf Ethan had helped install last weekend. Proper shelves, not milk crates. A desk by the window. A bed that didn't sag in the middle. What do you think? Leo asked, stepping back to admire his work. I think it's perfect, baby. Can Ethan come for dinner tonight? I want to show him my volcano project. It actually erupts now. Maya smiled. I'll ask him. Her phone buzzed. Speak of the devil. Still on for 6? I'm bringing dessert. Fair warning, I cannot bake, so it's store-bought. She typed back, Leo's requesting your presence for a volcano demonstration. Prepare to be impressed. Wouldn't miss it. Maya pocketed her phone, warmth spreading through her chest. 3 months. 12 actual dates. Movies, dinners, one disastrous mini-golf game where Ethan lost 3 balls in the water hazard. Slow. Careful. Real. He'd never pushed. Never assumed. Never made her feel like she owed him anything. The restraining order was permanent now. Derek was serving 18 months for assault, breaking and entering, stalking, and violating a protective order. Sarah Brennan had demolished his custody petition so thoroughly that even his own lawyer had looked embarrassed. The judge's words still echoed. Mr. Novak, you have demonstrated a consistent pattern of threatening behavior and disregard for this court's authority. Parental rights are not absolute. They are earned. And you, sir, have forfeited yours. Derek had screamed. Called Maya names that made the bailiff reach for his handcuffs. She'd sat silent, Leo beside her, and felt nothing but relief. At 5:45 p.m., Maya was pulling garlic bread from the oven when her phone rang. Unknown number. Her heart stuttered, old reflex, hard to kill. Hello? Ms. Novak? This is Officer Bradley. I wanted to give you a courtesy call. Her stomach dropped. What happened? Nothing bad. Actually, good news. Derek Novak was transferred to a maximum security facility upstate this morning. He'll serve his full sentence there, no chance of early release, no work furlough. And we've flagged your address in the system. If he ever makes contact again, direct or indirect, we'll know immediately. Maya's knees went weak. She sat down hard on a kitchen chair. Thank you? Thank you for telling me. You're welcome. You and your son stay safe, ma'am. She ended the call and just breathed. Upstate. Maximum security. 18 months minimum. The doorbell rang. Leo sprinted to answer it. Ethan. Hey, buddy. Ready to blow something up? It's science, not blowing up. Mom says there's a difference. Your mom is very smart. They appeared in the kitchen, Leo bouncing with excitement, Ethan holding a bakery box and wearing a smile that made Maya's carefully rebuilt walls crack just a little more. You okay? Ethan asked, reading her face. Yeah. Just got a call. Derek's being transferred. Maximum security. Full sentence. Ethan set down the dessert and crossed to her, his hand gentle on her shoulder. That's good news. I know. It's just... She laughed shakily. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. For something to go wrong. Nothing's going wrong tonight. Tonight, we eat pasta, watch a volcano erupt, And I revealed that I bought the fanciest chocolate cake the bakery had because I have zero self-control. Leo gasped. Chocolate cake? The kind with the layers? 3 layers. I counted. Maya watched them, her son chattering about baking soda ratios, this man who'd walked into her nightmare and stayed, and felt something shift. Not the absence of fear. The presence of something stronger. During dinner, Leo told terrible knock-knock jokes. Ethan laughed at every single one. Maya's cheeks hurt from smiling. After the volcano demonstration, successful, with only minor lava damage to the kitchen table, Leo started yawning. Bedtime, buddy, Maya said. But Ethan's still here. I'll be here next week too, Ethan promised. And the week after that. Really? Really. After Leo was asleep, Maya and Ethan sat on the small balcony, the city humming below them. The night air was cool, but not cold. Almost spring. He's right, you know, Ethan said. I'm not going anywhere. Maya looked at him, really looked. At the scar above his eyebrow from that night. At the steady kindness in his eyes. At the man who'd seen her at her most broken and never flinched. I know, she said softly. For the first time in years, I actually believe that. Yeah? Yeah. He reached for her hand. She let him take it. I need to tell you something, Maya said. Okay. I'm scared. Of trusting again. Of letting Leo get attached. Of thinking this could actually work and then it does work, Ethan finished. It does, Maya. Not because everything's perfect, but because we choose it. Every day. No guarantees, just showing up. Maya's throat tightened. You've already shown up so many times. And I'll keep showing up. For as long as you'll let me. She leaned her head against his shoulder, feeling his steady heartbeat. For the first time in years, she whispered, I feel free. Below them, the city sparkled with 1,000 lights. Above them, stars pushed through the darkness. And in that small apartment, with her son sleeping safely and her hand held by someone who'd earned it, Maya finally let herself hope. Not for perfection. For something better. A new beginning.